Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half of the finale episode of the Ruffians. Our crew of misfit pirates have just boarded the Harrier, a fancy man of war being built down in the dock districts by the Ratcliffe family, where they have just successfully dealt with all of the dock workers that were on the top level of the boat and are preparing themselves to explore further.
I'm gonna go get my zombie friend.
Anybody that is looking at Lydia right now, she's like breathing really heavily, like still like kind of a little bit of a crazed look in her eyes. She really like prides herself on being the best at things. So she's like just ready to go, and you know, kind of got carried away a little bit with some of those kills, but she's just, let's keep going.
Well,
yeah. Django would immediately kind of come up to her and put a hand on her shoulder and just be like, and just sort of, "You're all right, Captain. You're all right."
More. There's more, right? We have to get everyone.
the downstairs.
Not everything's a fight. And he'll slap her in the face lightly.
You're right.
Downstairs, you say, Era?
Yes, and I think we should send our friend here down.
What's his name again?
I didn't ask.
Jeremy. Head on downstairs since I created you.
Can I just?
He looks
Can
to
he just
Era.
not? Django, you killed this man, but you did not reanimate him.
I did the proper grieving of this man. I think I deserve his reanimation. Jeremy.
Reginald, please go downstairs.
You see him start lumbering out of these like tattered ropes around him now, and make his way to the set of stairs.
If a wizard could T-pose, I'd be doing that right now.
You see him put kind of a few hands on the railing and then start taking a step down, and then like you just kind of see his feet go out from underneath him, and you hear him like.
Oh, very graceful.
Reginald, are you all right?
Jeremy.
You feel as if your connection to Reginald Jeremy has been severed.
Reginald Jeremy. Well, he's dead. So I'm gonna go up to these, and I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic here. Well, actually, no. First, I'm gonna detect and then dispel.
Read my mind.
Yeah,
Wait,
you see your zombie at the bottom of the stairs, just kind of in a crumpled heap.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to cast Detect Magic. Can you excuse you? Get into the chat. I'll be rude.
Yep. So as you cast it, you see basically a faint shimmer go over the entire boat. Particularly, you see that there is a protective magic on the kind of top layer that seems to be preventing specifically, because I believe that you would get.
You get the magic school, I believe.
You get the magic school. It would be. Why would it be?
Yeah,
This isn't a spell per se, but
Wouldn't be.
what like I gotta look up like what would be a.
Wouldn't be
similar spell.
abjuration, would it?
Abjuration is the one I'm looking for sure.
Protection.
Yes, it would be an abjuration spell. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna dispel magic this shit. Going to try at least. I'm focusing specifically on the stairwell.
Yeah.
So, dispel magic.
10
I will
plus
only
the
have
spells
one.
level.
Yeah, so level 3 or below, I believe, because I'm not casting this at a higher slot because I can't.
Yeah, so it should be the 10 plus spell level if it's higher than 3rd.
Yeah. So 13.
Yeah, so just make a ability check using your spellcasting modifier.
All right, so that is intelligence.
Dispel magic. DM's worst nightmare.
Thank you for that, Nat 20.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
You see it like start to ripple and pull backwards, and you can tell even the dispel on it. You can kind of carve a pocket out on this stairwell, but the whole field enveloping the ship is still intact. But you're able to kind of push that away, and you believe would allow for spells to work through it now.
When I cast Detect, did I catch an apex of where this is? Did I see a point on where it was radiating from?
You can. I mean, it's all over the boat. You can.
And I
sense that
didn't see like a point where it was like
magic on
particularly
this boat.
concentrated, or.
You feel a pulling like deeper within the vessel.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm not 100% sure this is going to be entirely safe, but I think at this point, fuck it. We should just go. I carved out, I think, a pocket that seems safe enough, but I don't know how long it's going to last. But because I'm the one who did this, I'll take the first step. And if
I'm right
end up
behind
going-
you.
Please, because please pull me out if I end up getting knocked unconscious.
We'll have my wooing words ready.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm rather sad that our little friend there was taken out so quickly. He would have been useful. Sloop, are you down from the mast yet?
Yeah, Sloop will just like slide down the rope that the guy is attached to, and just sort of like jump off of him and give him a quick tap on the face, and make his way over to the group.
Yep.
All right.
Ready to go.
Well, stay behind me. I have one more dispel magic I can use. Should it start to close around us, but if at that point we're going to need to run.
Understood.
All right. I'm going to start walking inward.
Yeah, Eric, you make your way. You pass a foot through the stairs hesitantly and land on the stair below. And your next foot follows, and your next foot follows, and you feel no ill effect come over you.
I don't like how heavily guarded this place is.
Means all the good secrets are here.
Yes, but it also, I'm just uncertain on how long I'm going to be able to keep it away. They've got something strong here, stronger than anything I've faced. So,
Always make a better door later.
well,
My thoughts exactly.
well, Sloop, should it start collapsing in on us again, I think that's probably a good chance for you to use your little toys.
What is the marching order going down these stairs?
No, it's me, then Lydia. Who's going after Lydia?
I'll take the back.
Jago will hesitate at first, but then take the spot in front of Sloop.
Sloop, as you watch Django go down below you, and brace yourself to make your way through this stairwell, you kind of take a deep breath and look out to the shoreline, to the horizon, in the distance, and pause for a brief moment as you feel like it's strangely at a bit of a skew, and you realize that it's not the horizon line that you are seeing moving towards you, but a wave about 4 stories tall working its way into the city. In almost no time at all, it is upon you and smashes into the back of the ship, taking you, covering the entire city behind you. The docks fill with water up to the cliff line as the riptide and the current begins to pull you back out towards the boat, towards the water, towards everything else. I'm going to require you to make a strength check to hold on to something on the ship.
What the hell did he just
The fuck are the Ratcliffes doing?
Yeah, seriously.
Is there a kraken down here or something?
You say strength saving throw?
Guys, we're all gonna die.
No, don't say
Or-
that.
It was nice knowing all of you.
Well, fuck.
Oh,
Wait,
we're
all
all
three?
doing this?
I just need it from Sloop.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Okay.
The rest of you are
Ignore
below
that.
Jack.
Sorry.
Let's say I'm gonna die if that's the case.
I rolled poorly on my stats. I am not fit for combat.
A 14. Sloop, you grab onto the wood as the waters come flying through, and you are able to propel yourself down the stairs. The rest of you see Sloop as you all pool up at the bottom of the stairs. You see Sloop throw himself down the stairs, landing on the ground at the bottom, taking 7 psychic damage. Sloop, as you manage to avoid this tidal wave attack.
Luke, what's wrong? What happened?
Are you alright?
What do you mean, what's wrong? So many things are wrong. Did you see that wave? That was insane. I only
wave?
thought about blowing up
Did we
the
see
church.
the-
I didn't even blow it up.
What?
We didn't see that, right?
You felt nothing.
Oh.
Oh, Sloop.
What are you talking about?
Era's gonna like get both her hands on his shoulders. Sloop. There was no
What?
wave.
What do you mean there was no wave? There was the biggest. That was the biggest wave I've ever. The whole town is gone.
No, it's not. It's
This-
there.
It was an illusion.
Okay. My brain hurts.
Django will
It-
slap
it
you across the
feels-
face.
it feels
That's worse. Not a headache
no,
cure.
Sloop.
And
Sloop.
I'm
No,
gonna
it
root in
feels-
my bag and take out a couple of the sloop goop
Snoop goop.
Yep.
and heal 2d8 plus 3.
Go for it.
Sloop, I know that it felt real, but this kind of magic makes things feel real. There was no wave.
Okay.
Something might have been triggered. Are you all
And-
right?
I go to like feel my clothes and feeling that they're not wet, being like,
Okay.
and then I'm just gonna rub the goop all over my like face and head and heal for 12.
Oh dear.
All right.
I like to mess with others' minds, but I don't like my mind being messed with.
You can't
What
have
is-
it both ways, darling.
What is this gold thing? Is that just water?
The gold thing?
Oh yeah,
This.
is that a light?
This. Is that just a light?
That is just that's a lantern over there. Yeah.
Oh, it's fancy. If I kind of skirt around here, like here, let me just, I'm gonna kind of take a look past this corner.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys are out of initiative. You can move free as you choose at the moment. So yeah,
Alright.
you come around the corner down into this hall. You see that there's a long hallway in front of you with a number of doors coming down on either side, and then around the edges of the boat. Era, you peek around the corner. You see a ladder kind of immediately on your left going up to a door, and then a row of cannons that go the length of the ship.
Why would they put such a powerful spell on something so mundane? Does this not just look like the normal inner goings of a ship?
It is a big ship. I mean,
Like it's
this
big,
is
but
like-
does it? It
Perhaps
just looks
deeper.
like.
My love.
Yeah, Lydia wants to start like walking forward, and she's looking for things that are out of place. She's been on a lot of ships, and she wants to see if something catches her attention.
Lydia, make a
please be
perception check for me.
Careful. Please be careful where you step, Lydia.
I know what I'm doing. Apparently, I don't.
Everything in this boat seems as if it is fairly regular to you. You do hear some noises up ahead, but you can't quite really pick out what they are, or if they're unusual, or the creaking of the boat itself.
Well,
I can't
I think we should.
see anything that's different. I think Django was right. We need to go deeper.
Yes, and we should proceed with caution.
Yes.
Because whatever I dispelled clearly didn't take care of it all. I'm worried about us getting caught up in another illusion.
So there are doors to our left and right, right?
Yes.
Okay. Django's not going to be particularly investigative of them, but like the first one on the left here, he will kick that one open.
Yeah. You kick it open. It clatters and bangs to the side, and you look in. Let me get that for you. You look into what appears to be a crew quarters. There are sets of hammocks in there, some supplies. You can see that people have been sleeping in here, though there is no one in here at the moment.
Okay.
Seeing
Hammocks are
Django
empty,
do
mate.
that. Is there doors on the opposite side too?
Yeah.
Okay, so seeing him do that, I will copy him and do it on the other side.
Go for it. As you open the door into this room, you find a similar but smaller crew quarters, sets of hammocks and the like.
Okay. Just gonna move down the hall.
Lydia, as you start moving down the hallway, the door on your left-hand side, you hear a noise behind it that sounds like the unmistakable sounds of pain. And the door itself begins to open as a dock worker comes out clutching his stomach and collapses on the ground in front of you at the steel gate, where he begins violently throwing up. Unlike a normal throw up, though, and unlike the throw up you saw Django this morning of a bright green, this is instead a sickly gray color, almost that of like steel or gunmetal. And as it hits the grate in front of you, you see it dissolving sections of it, the unquestionable smell coming up from it, and rotting the inside of this man alive as he's writhing in pain in front of you.
Does only Lydia see this?
You all see this.
Oh, we all see this. Oh my god.
I get down on my knees in front of him and just like shake his shoulders. Sailor, you all right?
Yeah, as you grab him and kind of turn him over, his eyes just roll back in his head as this oozes out. You now can look down at his stomach and see that his entire chest cavity has started rotting away as this stuff bubbles and creeps out of him into this pool on the floor.
What the fuck?
I don't think
is
the rat
this?
clips know what they're doing.
Can I take a look into the room that he just came out of?
Yeah, you can take a little peek in.
I'm right behind you.
Django will walk past them and just look down the hall, just keeping his senses aware for what might be ahead of them as they investigate that room.
Yeah, Django, you move up to the kind of next set of the masts and look down. You can see a few more rooms ahead of you, and then the light, candlelight and tables in the far distance. Ira, you look into this room to see that there is another man of this same kind of affliction affecting him, as Lydia and Sloop are kind of looking at this one in the middle.
Can I roll would that be a medicine check to kind of glance and see what the hell that is, or like a history check, see if I've ever read anything about that?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
A history?
I will allow for Arcana Medicine or History, whatever you want to do. Or Nature, if you even wanted. It's your choice. I'll flavor it based on...
I'm going to take History.
Your take.
18.
18. You think about things that have had kind of similar properties to what you see working out. And the only thing you can think of are old like dungeoneering tales of people working their way through the deep roads, through underground, when they've particularly dealt with types of oozes.
Ooze.
As you come to this realization, Lydia, around your ankles, you feel a creeping sensation as this pool of vomit has formed into a kind of tendril and begun to wrap its way around your leg.
Ew.
Require initiative.
And do I, did that give me enough to know that ooze equals danger?
Oozes are bad.
I mean, did that give me... does that tell me that this is a dangerous situation and I can
shortly you'll find out when it
out?
detects our friend.
Yeah, I mean, you could be like, oh shit, I think this is an ooze for sure.
Yeah.
You're not sure. This doesn't exactly replicate any oozes that you've heard about in the past.
Yeah, but it seems to be matching properties that I've read about before.
Yeah.
Get away from it! That's what I'm going to yell. Get away from it!
Initiative, right?
Initiative, please.
Where is my token? I'm not ready for this.
I remembered to click my token this time.
Oh, I hate.
did I?
Oh, I got the
hate
same
ooze.
thing.
12.
Look at that.
I hate oozes so much.
Oh my goodness, look at all those 12s.
Oozes are scary.
I hate them. I've only had to fight them once and it was horrible.
Thank you for that insight. Oozes are scary.
They are. Have you ever heard of an Oblex?
No, I listened to you talk about it.
Prepare to be exposed to one, Shannon, eventually
Yeah, great.
in the future.
Oh boy.
We played 2
What?
campaigns together.
I thought that was the
They're-
stuff that you get when you mix like cornstarch and water together.
It is named after that, but an Oblex is a monster that is essentially a mind flayer experiment.
Ooze barf.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I love that.
So
Um,
Shannon, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you guys can see that. That's good to know. Yeah. So it only rolls a 7, Lydia, which I'm assuming does not hit you.
Nope.
So yeah, you feel this kind of thing wrap up, and it goes to kind of wrap faster at you, but you're able to quickly move your leg out of the way before it is able to go. And Django, you are up on the queue.
Okay, I feel like oozes should not be susceptible to the spells I have, but they might be. All right, so Django is going to look at this, immediately see this ooze flashing on, attempting to hit Lydia, and first thing he does, he's going to scream in fear. And then the second thing he does is he's going to cast, I'm just going to go for it and do another Dissonant Whispers at first level. So that's a wisdom saving throw. 15 DC.
It rolled a 3.
Okay. Whew.
I use my ooze-colored dice for this.
Okay. So I
Trade
cast
out
that.
those dice that only roll 2s and 3s, apparently.
So I'll cast that at first level. So that'll be 13 points of psychic damage, and he's
Nice.
used its reaction to move away from me. Use all of its movement to move away from me. And I believe we discussed in chat that this does now provoke opportunity attacks.
Oh, does it? Is that what happened in the chat there? I'm gonna get the call from Veg as I figure out how far it can move. Not very far. Moving away from you. Okay, so it is going to be moving through them.
I don't imagine it's going to feel
little bit
these
outward.
emotions, but Django will definitely give it he'll tell him a very sad story, and just
Yeah,
really just off that ennui feeling. He wants that ooze to be sad.
You see it kind of like sloshing
That's-
up
that's
and
fine.
moving erratically as it kind of comes up into its form to some degree. It is mostly in puddle form. Official ruling is yes. So both Sloop and Lydia, you can get an attack of opportunity on it.
Yeah, I think as like her reaction, she's just like grossed out, and that thing almost just grabbed onto her, so she's gonna punch the ooze.
Punch the living shit out of it. Or not living shit.
Whoa!
That's
Yeah,
I think that one might
Double nat
I
20.
think that
hit. Sloop, you're
Awesome.
Of
raping.
course.
That's I think I'm probably impressed by whatever punch is about to happen.
would hit. Oh man, I just like punched like a hole through it. and it
Perfect
just
for the finale.
snaps.
Yeah, you do like almost like a superhero landing punch.
Yeah.
And you just see the ooze like scatter out in all sides before it reforms under your
Yeah.
fist.
Gross. This is so gross. What the fuck? Is this?
Sloop, you are up.
So it is now like 10 feet away from us.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I am going to take out a bomb and sort of look at everybody
Do it, do it, do it, do it.
and then throw the bomb at the ooze.
Okay. What does it gotta make here? A deck save?
Hold on, let me look at this item. So
Oh,
this
I
is
see.
Dragonfire Flask. I make a ranged attack,
Okay.
and let's see. So then, I guess that would just be the same as my dagger.
Yep.
It's a 22 to hit,
That's gonna hit.
and then detonating on impact. On a hit, the target takes 2d6 fire damage at the start of each of its turns. It can use an action to make a DC 13 Dex check to extinguish the flames.
Okay. So do the damage for it.
Do the damage?
Yeah. It's at the beginning of each of its turns it takes damage?
The beginning of each of its turns, yeah.
Can't remember the own items. Its turn is next, so I'll just get you to do it right away.
Okay, so it's 5 fire damage.
As this alchemical fire kind of spreads out across the surface of the ooze, it creates this smell that is. It almost feels like there's blood in all of your senses because of this like thick coppery metallic smell that goes up through it. It is very, very sickening, but you can see that it seems to be writhing quite heavily from that attack. It is going to step forward to Lydia and make a swing at you. My ooze dice. Oh, not good.
Not good for us or not good for the ooze?
Not good for the ooze. Does a 13 hit you?
Nope.
It does not. So yeah, it takes a swing with kind of one of these like pseudopods that come out, and goes, and then it takes a secondary attack. It definitely doesn't hit on that. Yeah, so you just see these like flaming oozy pseudopods as it rolls double 4s on its second attack. Make its way to you and slam, but it does seem like it's been quite disoriented by this attack. Yeah, and then it is Ira.
Okay. First question: when I looked into the room, did I see another ooze, or did it just look like this was the aftermath?
It looked like this was like the aftermath of it.
All right. Okay, so I'm not gonna chuck a fireball into that room. Okay. Do I want to? Hold on. Let me check the range on this because I definitely don't want to get us caught up in it because it will kill us. How big is the 20-foot? Nope, I'm not doing that. This is an enclosed space. Not doing that. All right. Well, we're gonna. Oh God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I keep thinking, oh, I'm prepared. No, I'm not. I'm going to, I guess I'll toll the dead it because that's really all I can do. I don't want to lose any more spell slots.
Go for
So,
it.
I'm gonna toll the dead it and then use all my movement to get the fuck away from it.
Okay.
So toll the dead. I believe it's going to take it's a DC 14
wisdom.
and
It
yeah.
passes the save.
So that means, does it take half damage or no damage? Let me check.
You tell me.
I
I will also look it up.
It doesn't say half, so I assume if the target misses. Yeah, no, it just doesn't take any. It doesn't say anything about half damage.
So
right.
yeah, you hear this go out, but it just seems to kind of reverberate across the liquidy surface of this barf.
You know what? Fuck this, and then I'm gonna use all of my movement to get as far away from this thing as I can.
Yeah. You can make your way.
Hold on. That's still being fucky. How far can I move? 30 feet. So I can get right there.
Yep.
Okay. Good luck.
And then Lydia, you are up.
All right. I'm going to continue to punch the living shit out of it.
Go for it.
15.
15 does not hit.
Okay. Second. 30, 20.
hits.
Cool.
Yep.
10 bludgeoning. Nice. That's good.
Okay.
And key point, flurry blows. for my bonus action. Just punching and trying to make it stop.
19 will hit.
Cool.
Eventually, it's got to stop.
Another 7.
And one more. Nope.
Critical fail will not hit. Yeah, so you kind of drop a few kicks, a few punches. You can see it has the similar effect where it kind of splurts out around it and reforms. But you are kind of spreading bits of this flaming ooze barf all over the place.
What a phrase. Flaming ooze barf.
Right?
Gotta love D&D.
Django, you are up.
Okay. Django is going to look at the ooze pitifully and say, I do so love nature, ask Lydia, but I love it despite what it's done to you. And I'll cast Vicious Mockery on the ooze. DC 15, Wisdom
Coming
save.
in with these burns.
It rolled a 13.
All right, 2d4 psychic damage.
I feel like the ooze can only form itself into like little emoji expressions. I feel like it just turned into a shocked emoji.
So,
Yes.
6 points of psychic damage, and then on its next attack, it has disadvantage.
I love that that this thing does not have any
You're just
kind of
bullying
condition
it to
immunities
death.
against
Yeah.
psychics.
That's all Django's strategy is to bully enemies to death.
It worked for Scanlan. It can work for you too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to do?
No. Actually, no. I'll move closer to Era.
Okay. Then Sloop, you are next.
Okay, so it's moved back within 5 feet of Lydia, so I'm going to take out the rapier and just be like, "You're gross!" and try to stab it.
You're gross.
For a 14.
Does not hit.
Oh.
Slippery.
Oh, you don't have your reroll anymore.
No. So I will bonus action disengage.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna sort of step behind Lydia and be like, "This is all you. You're doing great." So I'm just gonna step, right back there.
Right there. Perfect. Lydia, you are the only one within range of this ooze barf as it
Bring it.
Sorry, Lydia.
Take
Mike, give me the and is it is that item, is it an action to put itself out?
Yeah, it's an
9
action
fire
to make a DC. A creature can end this damage by using its action to make a DC 13 Dex check to extinguish the flames.
I don't know that it's intelligent enough to do that. So it's just gonna keep attacking. 13 doesn't hit you?
Nope.
A 16.
Nope.
Ooh. Again.
Monk shit.
Monk shit. Cool monk shit.
Aiming these flaming tentacles smack out. You see it's kind of like rising up now in anger and growing in size. Though you do seem to be taking a lot out of it as you've cut it down quite a fair bit. But it seems very furious. It seems to be having a very difficult time with the fire effect that it is under. But yeah, you manage to avoid its attacks as it slams down this narrow corridor, and you're able to kind of duck underneath each flaming tentacle. Era, you are next in the queue.
All right, cool. I'm a magic missile this bitch. And we're gonna do it at 2nd level because there's no reason I'm gonna use those spell slots because those are utility. So gonna do this thing.
And 15 damage.
Get fucked.
Yeah, you send these darts flying down the hallway. Sloop and Lydia, they just kind of go over your shoulder, do a little circle around it, and then just hammer into the ground.
Nice.
Will this thing just die? And I'll use my movement to get further away from this thing.
Yep.
I don't.
Oh, don't worry, we've got it. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it.
Yes, I'll help from back here.
Yeah, Era, you start moving into what looks to be like a fairly lavish dining room on the ship. You can see that it's all set out in this very, very beautiful spread. Huge kind of surf and turf and whatnot served. Large fish and lobsters, crabs, all kind of seafood are all laid out, ready for a large meal.
Why is this just left out here? Does it look fresh or does it look?
It all looks fresh and delicious and smells great. Lydia,
Why is
you're up.
this all out here? It's weird.
Okay. So seeing as my pops are not really doing much, I'm going to take out the sword and I'm going to just start slicing at it. And I am going to, no, I'm not going to use any of those. I'm just going to use it as a regular sword right now. Oh, 14.
14 does not hit.
Damn it.
You do still have a reroll.
I do. I'm going to use that reroll. That's
21
better.
hits.
Cool. 5 piercing damage, and I have another attack. So just swinging at it.
Yeah.
18.
And an 18 hits. Yep.
All right. 7.
7. Yeah, as you duck underneath these various flaming tentacles coming at you, you pull out your sword and just start cutting them off as they kind of work your back foot back down this hallway.
Okay.
Django, you are up next.
Muted.
And you are on mute.
Sorry. How far away is the ooze from me right now? It's. I'm gonna use vicious mockery
40 feet
again. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I will say, I had something I forgot. I thought I believed in evolution, but I clearly see that you are going in reverse. And I will use vicious mockery.
It rolled a 6 plus 7. It rolled a 7
6.
on its save.
All right, so 2d4 psychic damage again. All right, so that is 6 points of psychic damage, and it has disadvantage on its next attacks.
Very nice.
Slowly, Django will kill this thing. He also moves closer into the era.
See, this,
Sloop,
I
you
knew
are
you
up
was.
next.
I knew you
Okay.
were smart.
Sloop ducks out from the side of Lydia and just like, and tries to stab it.
Go for. A 15 does
15?
not hit.
Oh my god! And then he
You're
does the same thing, just like, I hate this thing, and ducks back behind.
You may roll your fire damage.
Oh yes,
Nice.
6.
6. You see it bubbling and frothing as it starts crumbling under this fire as it takes 2 more attacks at Lydia standing in the front line. So lucky this thing is on fire. That first one misses at a 12, not getting that crit. And a 15 doesn't hit you, does it?
Nope.
Again,
Monk
it
shit.
slams down 2 things. It rises up in what looks like it is its last attempt as Era.
Fucking finish it!
I'm trying, alright. Magic missile at first level.
As the darts go flying down the hallway, you see this thing form up almost in a humanoid form as the darts boof, 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 impede himself into it and just kind of detonate, leaving the ooze exploded out on the
gross.
sides of the wall. It slides down and slumps on the ground at the bottom of the wall, but does not seem to pool back together.
Oh,
Okay. Why in the hell is there an ooze down here? The Radcliffes are fucking insane.
I'm gonna go immediately look in the room where that came out of. See if there's more.
There's not anymore.
Yeah, you pop your head into what is clearly the ship's infirmary. You do see there is another corpse in there that has been mostly dissolved from this ooze, but there does not seem to be another full pool of this anywhere.
All right, I'll come back out. Keep your eyes on the floor. It likes to go for your legs first.
I hate this boat.
Can we just set it on fire?
Don't worry,
already?
when it's my boat, it'll be much prettier.
Can we just set it on fire already, Lydia? You deserve a much better boat than this.
No. I will change it. I will make it a good boat. Ship. A good ship. Damn it.
You guys are
this
yelling back
weird-
and forth down the hallway at each other.
Yes.
Django and Era, you're in this beautiful kind of dining room. Sloop, as you begin making your way up through with Lydia, I guess, right behind you there. Sloop, you look out into this room and see that the food on the table is rotted and filthy. The stench hits you before you can see anything quite in the candlelight. But as you approach closer, you see the crabs are not dead, not cooked, not well. They are literally moving, crawling themselves across the table, trying to feast at the other pieces of rotting food and the like. It's an overbearing sight to you at first, seeing this much kind of food, and even to your hardened kobold stomach, the smell that hits you mixed with the smell of the ooze barf really turns your stomach. And I'm going to require you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is this the same table that Django and Era are looking at?
Yes. And that you can now see coming up behind Sloop as well. These magnificent, wealthy-looking tables laden with a feast fit for practically a king.
I'm getting tired of this illusionary bullshit.
Sloop, you take 5 psychic damage, but manage to
my
hold your
little
stomach
brain.
together and
brain.
avoid yourself from getting too sickened by this.
Why would they just have perfectly good food just sitting out like this?
It's just, they just leave it on the. Oh my God! How could they waste so much food? They
do you
wasted
mean?
it all. It's just food for the crabs. Oh,
The
terrible.
What is
They
it?
don't need to feed them. They'll
Does
eat
it look
anything.
rotten to me, or does it look fresh?
It looks delicious to you.
Sloop, what are you talking about?
crabs
This is
are
the
dead.
grossest-
This looks...
This is
feast.
almost as gross as that slime was. This is the worst.
Sloop, this looks exactly like the food that. Sloop, this looks exactly like the food you were stuffing your face with at the
Yes.
masquerade.
Yes,
No, you guys
this looks
are
like it...
absolute- This is nothing like what I would eat. Even I wouldn't eat this. This is how bad it is. This is what I'm telling you. Look.
And he pulls like a chicken leg out of his bag that has we haven't seen chicken in like a week. And he pulls that out of his bag and like eats it. And he's like,
Look, this is better than this right here.
That's fresh food. That what you're eating is not.
and Sloop's gonna kind of go over and like try to pick up something off the table, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
Django's gonna do the same thing and try to pick up just something off the table.
Sorry.
That's
I'm sorry. Era is gonna do the same thing, like grab a loaf of bread or something. See if it's.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you're able
watch.
to. You're able to grab it with ease and pick it up. The loaves are well cooked. They've got a nice bounce back, beautiful crust on them.
Is there an apple that Django can grab?
Yeah. A
Yes.
beautiful.
He's gonna
green
lick
apple.
it immediately. As soon as he feels it solid in his hands, like it's not
Yep.
rotting, like he says, he's gonna lick it.
Yeah,
No,
it
what do
tastes
you
like an
do?
apple
Why?
skin.
Stop.
Sloop.
Sloop, you see as he does this, you see like the slop of the apple like slide off and down his tongue and fall on the floor.
You're going to just poison yourself. Are you
Sloop.
even hungry? Why
Sloop,
are you
it's an
doing this?
apple. It's just
Sloop.
an apple.
No, I
Sloop.
think he's caught in another illusion.
Oh. All right.
Ah,
Can we fix it? Can we slap him out of it?
I don't think that's going to work. I don't know why he's the only one who's being caught in these.
said,
There's
you
the
just-
wave, and now.
I guess maybe they got in my head. And this is good food. Are you sure?
I mean, I wouldn't take a
Positive.
bite. I wouldn't take a bite out of it just because it seems weird that they just left a spread like this sitting out.
Yes, Django, don't lick anything else.
Please, don't.
The first time ever, I will follow that order.
Thank you.
Boat sucks.
Hip.
There's a door right behind, right? The head of the table.
Yep.
I want to go towards it, see if I can open it.
You can.
Walking up next to her.
It, as you poke your head out, it leads out onto a back, like a back deck, a back balcony, just overlooking the water, really, where you were.
What? Was there a downstairs that anybody saw? Was there one back there?
There is a staircase in the middle of that dining room.
I see this.
Oh.
Right,
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
Oh, I totally meant. I thought that was a table for some reason. Well, then I guess.
Father, we need to figure this out because this is extremely frustrating.
Yes, and I'm running low on spells, so I'm gonna.
I've had just about enough. I'm almost
would
ready to
offer
blow
to
it up.
Sneak ahead and check things out, but it seems like they're in my brain, and I
Yeah.
cannot trust what I see.
Let me take the first look.
I'm behind
Can I
you.
get marching order?
Me,
You're a
Lydia.
Django and Sloop.
Django and Sloop.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you start seeing anything that you feel is off, let us know first, or
Okay.
you lose your mind.
And
And,
move you guys down here.
Oh, new map.
Bloop. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Can you
just
use all
wanna
this
blow
roll
this
20
ship
magic?
up.
Ooh,
I just want to blow this entire ship
what
up.
a nice transition. Well, we are in the bowels, so it's a perfect place to do it.
Yeah, as
Oh,
you,
I have a spell slot saved for a fireball, so
as
Django
you
will
make
start
your
to
way down. Yeah, you find yourself in the hull of the ship, the cargo hold, where you see barrels and crates and the like moved over to the kind of the sides. You can tell that the boat has still been getting filled, so it's a little empty down here, but it's mostly ready.
Django would like to pry open one of the crates off to the side.
Yeah. You can go for one of those. You pry open if you're prying open like a hard crate instead of a barrel, you would find provisions such as foods, grains, that kind of like.
I want to leave
Django
the last
will lick
first-
one of them.
Oh,
No!
damn it.
What did I just say?
I'm going to use my last first level spell slot to cast Detect Magic one more time.
Yeah.
And
Can
I
I-
believe
Sorry, go ahead.
and I'm going to concentrate for 10 minutes on it and kind of do a sweep. You go ahead.
Sure.
Can I open one of these barrels?
Mm-hmm.
Is there gunpowder in it?
Barrels, you find that these are mostly water barrels,
Damn it.
clearly designed for long journeys.
Sorry, Sloop. I was looking for gunpowder.
It can't all be okay. I was going to ask. It looks like water to me, but it's not gunpowder.
It's not gunpowder.
Oh.
Let's keep looking. Maybe there's more.
Spot
There's more on the other
sucks.
side.
And I'm basically going to turn myself into a magic metal detector. So
We'll take some time for you to cast that for 10 minutes. So if there's anything the rest of you want to do down here in the meantime,
Can I
you
hear
use-
anything?
yeah, I'll get you all to make perception checks because it is fairly dark down here in the cargo hold. And do any of you have dark vision?
I think
No,
so.
because
No,
you
I-
took it away from us
yeah.
elves.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Appropriately.
Luke does.
No.
Uh,
Totally
I think
not
all elves
appropriate.
having dark vision is BS.
I'm sorry that you're just wrong.
Wow.
Yeah,
Look, we suck.
you can
The
kind of
person who's done good
hear
on this.
a lot of the sea around you, and it almost feels as if it's in like a rhythmic hum around you as you kind of sit down. It really helps you kind of trance into your spell. The rest of you mostly see, as I said, there's kind of barrels and crates all around you. There's a couple of doors in the back of the boat. Up ahead, it looks like some kind of brig. Like holding cells, as well as a further door, but nothing particular stands out to you.
Django will approach the other side of the room carefully, just kind of, no, I wouldn't say stealthing, but just sort of getting closer to what is that brig you said, just to see if he can see anyone inside the bars.
So Django, as you start stepping forward, you kind of make your way past the mast and towards the bridge, and you hear and feel like a sudden creak and change as the wood boards below you begin to just collapse immediately, and you fall through the bottom of the boat. I'm going to need you to make a dex save to catch yourself.
Yeah. This might be when I use my reroll. Let's see.
Django, you're able to kind of latch yourself on to the edges of this as you feel the icy cold water filling up your boots up towards your waist, and then you begin to feel the familiar feel as a sailor of seaweed wrapping around your legs, quickly entangling you and pulling you downwards. As I'm going to need you to make a strength check to break free from the seaweed.
This I will likely have to use my reroll on because my strength sucks.
As soon as I saw him go down, I went over there to help. But yeah.
15?
Strength check. You managed to break the seaweed wrapped around your legs as more and more starts grabbing you. One by one, these tendrils of seaweed grab you and start pulling you down, ripping your hands out from the wood and pulling you down in the water. You struggle and you struggle, and all you can do as you begin to lose your breath, I'm going to need you to make a con save to hold against the crushing.
Reroll.
Reroll.
Gonna use my reroll for that.
As it pulls you deeper,
I'll take it.
Deeper,
Fate wanted it.
the darkness kind of seeds further and further. The waves, the ship, and everything above you begins to get darker and darker. And as your last kind of gasps of air, you gasp in, breathing water, as a large orange eye, looks directly at your face. And you wake up on the floor of the boat, coughing
What
up
is this Ugatoa shit? What the fuck?
I love it. I love everything about this.
You take 1 level of exhaustion.
Love it.
Did we see him fall through or no?
You see Django collapse on the floor,
Okay.
start writhing and screaming, and then coughing up water.
Oh my.
I am next to him, just like shaking. Django, are you all right?
I'm
Say
gonna
something.
I'm gonna join
I
Lydia.
almost went into the depths.
What happened?
Ugh,
You did.
I don't like this boat.
I'm gonna go into my bag and pull out a water skin and to drink.
Django will drink,
really-
but he's in a daze. Very much like Pippin after he held the Palantir.
There's the Lord of the Rings reference.
It was
And
it was an illusion. But
Loop is gonna come over and pull
That's
out
so
a flask from his bag and hand it over, and be like,
You can mix that with the water.
And
How you feel?
yeah, Django will drink from both. I don't like this boat.
oh, I really don't like this boat, and I'm really
What
just.
sucks?
Ship.
It's a boat. Who the hell cares? It's a boat.
It's a ship.
This ship is about to be ashes if this happens one more time.
I don't know if it's worth captaining this ship,
I
darling.
I can start a fire right now. We can get out and leave it to burn, and it causes more discourse. I do not think this is worth it.
Let's push deeper. If this ship can do this to us,
There's got to
I'm
be
so
something
sure
behind
your
it.
fire can burn it.
Would.
I've got to know.
Did mine detect magic sweep detect anything?
When your detect magic goes off, again, you feel this seeping emanation all around you of this like thrumming latent magical energy, but you still feel this pull deeper below you. You are not sure what it is, but you can sense that there is a great magic here.
There is something under, something even further below. Is there even? Django, Lydia, you know ships more than I do. Is there normally a below up here?
No.
No.
This is
No,
the whole.
it's just the water.
It sucks me down beneath into the waters below. There's nothing below.
Did you see anything?
So
It wasn't real.
I saw
It wasn't real.
a big
Did you
eye.
know? An eye? What did it look like? What did it look like?
It just was large. Did you say orange or red eye?
Orange.
It's a big orange eye staring at me as my lungs gave out as I was pulled into oblivion.
What color were the eyes on the
Orange.
wall?
One
Oh,
eye.
They were orange.
That's the same thing I saw watching me. Eyes.
Feels
Orange
very real.
eyes. And
I think this is beyond the trifles between these houses.
I think they're working. I think that they've tapped into something deeper. Listen, I know this isn't a very good time to be delving into our pasts, but I'm no stranger to delving into things that one shouldn't.
What?
I saw somebody that I loved very dear delve too far, and they have never been heard from again. And I do not think we should continue this. Listen, there's a lot of things I'll do to reach my goals, but if we keep going down here, I do not think we're going to survive.
I will, I'll listen to her, and then I'll look at Django, who is clearly terrified. And then I'll look at Sloop and Era. Burn it.
Loop,
Ah,
And then I'll put my arm around Django and start to walk him back.
Loop, pick a direction, because I'll be going the opposite.
Let's go. Let's get off. Let's get a head start.
So I'll take, I'll use the rest of the charges on my bag, which will give me 2 more fire bombs.
Okay.
And I'm like holding them up, about to throw them, and I'm just like,
I do have one idea.
What's that?
I think if this is a bit too much for us, which I am beginning to believe it is, we could get someone else to take care of it for us. I think the
Right.
city would be very interested to take down a rogue ship that was firing upon it. This boat has a lot of cannons pointed in a very tantalizing direction.
Maybe you can fire them when we're on our way up. The fire is going to take some time to spread.
I like the idea, Sloop, but I think the sooner we're off this ship, the better. The less time we spend on it, the better.
Sounds good.
Django would like to see if he can see into the bars of the brig you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. As you kind of make your way a little bit further along, you see that there are kind of 4 sets of brigs, four jail cells, 2 on either side, that seem to be empty. There is a door at the far end of the hallway as well, just like embedded into the wood.
Django's going to start moving towards that door.
Where are you going? What are you doing? We need to get off the ship. I'm following him.
Mango, what is it?
Where are you going?
He's just going to be kind of muttering. Last time we found something strange. There were people locked up.
Django, that was also a maniac and a family feud. This is clearly something much deeper than this.
Will it calm your soul if you just knew? Then will you go with me off the ship?
Yes.
Please, be careful. And I'll stay here with Sloop.
I'll take Django's hand as we're walking.
Django will move into the region where the bars are and up to the door.
Yep.
And unless he sees anyone in the bars, he's just going to walk into the last room.
As you open the door to this room, the sight is blinding to your eyes. All of you are able to see the reflection from inside of the boat as light glitters inside off hundreds of thousands of pieces of gold. Chests filled to the brim, piles of gold literally spilling outwards, bookcases lining the walls with various artifacts and the like collected from who knows where, and one gigantic chest sitting in the middle.
Django will cast Detect Magic
For doing
to
that
see if
before
there's
I did.
anything in the room that is immediately pinging any type of magic.
As you cast Detect Magic, nothing particular in the room pings, but behind the gold in the floor, you begin to see runes of magic inscribed, circling around the chest.
He'll shout back to Era.
I'm coming, and I'll...
There's runes here, love.
I'm coming, and I'll make my way in.
With your Detect Magic, you would know that they are divination-based runes, I would believe. And I will let either of you make an Arcana check on them.
I would love to.
I'll give that to her.
I just say I'm taking back my vote about this boat being terrible.
24. I mean, I still very much want to set this place on fire, just to be clear.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of dragon greed going on in Django's eyes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lydia.
Nobody
touch
touch a single coin.
Oh.
No one.
As I was
You
going
can
to
tell
say, I
that
was
they are
going to.
anti-scrying runes. They are not protective or they are not dangerous of any way. They are clearly designed to prevent scrying spells from penetrating it.
Would I be able to infer that this was probably what kept causing that damage?
You would think that is certainly linked to it.
Well, I want to take the heel of my boot and scratch out this, break the circle. Yep. All right. I think that should take care of it. I still don't think we should touch a single thing in this room because I don't trust it. These were anti-scrying runes.
Just a little bit,
like
one handful each.
As she's saying that, I want to kneel down next to the nearest pile of whatever and just looking at it, because that's probably enough to either build or buy her own ship. And if we're going to leave this here, she wants some sort of, reward.
Yeah, there are various chests and bags of all sorts of sizes that you could take a sizable fortune with relative ease.
Django will go ahead.
Before you touch anything, I'm going to kick one of the coins and see if its movement triggers anything.
No, you kick the coin, it scatters across the ground into like another pile of coins. It causes a little coin waterfall, like down. but
It's
nothing.
the Goonies
ominous.
room.
Yeah, Sloop is like a coiled spring right now. Like both of his hands are just outwards, and like that, it goes across the ground, and he has like a cat-like reaction where he's just fighting to not pick up the coin.
Agent, there is a chest in the middle of the room, you said?
Yes, a significantly large chest.
Django is not opening the chest, but he kind of dances around it and then like lands behind it and looks to Lydia and Era and just sort of like runs a finger across the top of the chest and looks to them and says, "Oh, what is inside this mystery?"
I don't think it's booby trapped, or it probably would have gone off when that coin pile fell over.
Well,
No magic, Sloop.
Sloop,
Shall
will
you
look
see
at
if
it?
there are material threats on this chest?
Yes. Yes. Good call. I will check for traps.
And you spring over.
I just imagine his like tail is a spring, and he's just
Yeah,
like
right?
using that to launch him.
Tigger.
Like you said, Sloop, and
Yes!
Sloop was already in the air, about to dive.
Right.
So he was like,
Yes. Very good idea. Yes, I will do that.
Is that investigation? I don't even know how to check
Investigation
for
would
traps.
be, yeah.
I'm a bad rogue. Oh,
I'm going to give
yeah,
him
I'm a
bardic
good
inspiration.
Don't even need it.
rogue.
Well, you
Sloop,
have that for 10 minutes.
You work your way kind of around the chest, looking for traps, and you can't find any on it. You do find that the make of the chest is very peculiar. It seems as if there's like a slit that runs down the entire front side, and you don't. It seems to be part of the ship, as if it's been like welded to the floor.
Hmm.
Django's going
It's
to kind of
not
like
trapped, but they don't want it gone for sure.
Django's going to like kind of like wrap his finger slowly over the front to open it
Wait.
and look to each person and say,
Is there a lock, or is it just a chest?
It is just a chest, no lock on it.
All right.
"Shall I open?"
I'm
We're
going to
to
prepare.
freaking explode. We have to open this.
I'm going to move in front of Sloop and Lydia and prepare to cast shield, and then nod.
Django just says, "To the mysteries of the worlds, mate." And he'll lift the chest open and kind of kick it forward so that it spills out in front of him.
As you kick it, it just kind of thungs because it's
Oh, yeah, it's
literally,
attached to
welded
shit.
to the ground. But you open it up.
Not cool.
Look in to what appears to be a small staircase.
I knew
leading
it.
Lower into the ship.
Well,
I'm sorry.
should we take a look? I don't really want to waste any more time.
I thought 5 minutes ago we were about to go off the ship. Is that no longer what we're doing?
Clearly, darling, there are extra dimensional activities happening amongst this ship. Wizard,
Clearly,
you first.
I was scared that there was some Eldritch horror going on here. Now I'm just convinced people trying to hide something. So, I don't know.
We may be stuck down here forever, but nothing.
Nothing
I forgot the
ventured,
expression.
Nothing gained.
Thank you.
Nothing.
I mean, you might, but I have my ways.
I will go deeper into the oblivion, and and Django will step in immediately.
Oh my gosh. And Lydia's right after him.
If they left this
Right
here,
after Lydia.
imagine what they have down there.
Slope, you might want to take a bag full in case we have to blow this place up.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you.
Yeah,
If you
Sloop
do
like-
blow up this place, please aim it at the back of this room. So when they attack and destroy the city, we can come back and dive down and gather the gold.
That's what you're worried about right now, not the staircase that appeared in the middle of the chest.
Darling,
Staircase that was clearly
darling,
built.
I am projecting.
You mean the staircase that was clearly built here? This chest is meant to be a cover.
Now is not the time for pedantics.
All this gold
Not the
around
time.
here, blow a hole, falls into the ocean. Sure,
Lydia's
this
losing her temper.
stairway, and Django's like halfway down the stairs while he's saying all this.
What is the marching order going down these stairs?
Django first, Lydia, and then
Yep.
Era, then Sloop.
Yeah. Sloop has now filled up his hat. He's put his hat back on. His gold. Like his pockets are full. He's
Yes.
stuffed his mouth.
Goonies style. He's got gems in his
mouth.
mouth.
Yeah.
He's got the
Yeah.
pearl necklace in his mouth.
So as you
One-eyed
climb
Willie.
down this very, very narrow
God,
staircase, you come up into a
God.
very small section of the hull. You can feel the water deep beneath your feet, and it is pitch black down here immediately. But all of you can hear what sounds to be like a humming or a chanting slightly up ahead of you.
Great, we walked in on a cult. That's nice.
I can just barely out of character see their hoods.
Yeah, me too.
So, tell me, do you just want me to chuck a fireball now?
Django immediately stops and kind of pushes Era forward. And says, "Yes, darling, it is now time for the fireball."
All right. If we're gonna do this, I'm gonna use my last third level spell slot, and I'm going to throw a fireball smack dab in the middle of this little circle.
Django will simultaneously cast 1, 2, 5, 10. Django will simultaneously step forward and cast Psionic Blast towards them.
Okay, so the two of you are at the front, kind of working your way around this mast. Up ahead, you do see, lit by a number of candles, 3 hooded figures, as well as a what appears to be a small fey child, possibly an Eladrin who is not alive, but with who is led out on the ground around him, a sword.
You said not
like
alive.
A sacrificial dagger. He is.
I really don't feel bad about this now.
I almost just cried.
And the rituals painted in blood around this small chamber at the bottom.
Oh, I hate these people.
Oh, I certainly don't feel bad about this now. Fireball right in the middle.
Yeah, Psionic Blast their asses.
Get.
I look at Sloop and just like.
Yeah, Django steps forward with Era, sees the Fey child, and screams, "Ah!" And then Psionic Blast out of that scream. Psionic Blasts are only out of fear.
I say Fey child, but he would be like a teenager.
Yeah.
Well,
Fey
still
child in
there
the
is
sense of
obviously
Not a Fey baby. There's no baby murdering.
When you
Lots of
first said
other
it,
creepy stuff, but-
when you first said it, I was like, oh no, but then I was like, oh no, it's a Fey, like a child of the Fey.
No, clearly they murdered someone. So when I check the fireball, I'm
all
trying to focus.
failed their deck save on this fireball.
Nice.
Oh, so that's 27
deck save.
points of ouch.
Deck save 15, or it says 14 here for some reason.
Yeah, okay, I'll let the two of you do that. And deck saves for that too. They will not have disadvantage on the second. So pass, a fail, and a fail. 1 pass, 2 fails.
All right, so 22 damage to the fails, and they get pushed back 20 feet, and then 11 damage to the success. And they don't get pushed back.
So how much is that?
As this eruption goes off in this room of fire and force, I will not require any of you to roll initiative, as you have gibbed them with these spells. They are only wee cultists. They are not that strong. And yeah, this fireball goes off and this force wave kind of blasts around it. You see the 3 cultists slam into the hulls of the ship and collapse on the ground. For a brief moment, you just kind of feel everything go silent. It seems as if the waves themselves are no longer rocking or moving the boat at all in any way. In this moment of kind of calm comes over you until you hear deep beneath you just this loud, like, and then the current pick back up almost immediately to the point that it staggers you, well-seasoned sailors on your feet this deep in the hull, as you can sense something happening outside of the boat.
Now we leave.
Is this an illusion or is this real?
Oh, I feel it too.
I think it's real. It's real. Let's leave. Let's go.
Let's go.
Sloop, have
Let's go, Janko.
Can me and Lydia just both take one of Django's arms and just?
Yep.
If they both take my arms, I'll let them pull me. But Django was pausing for a moment, looking towards the Fey child.
Yep.
Listen, Django.
Django's a softy boy.
But listen, Django, I understand. It's horrific. It's terrible. Let's go.
As you get pulled back up into the treasure room, you have a brief moment of kind of catching your breath in this before you are all thrown to the side as something has clearly hit the boat with a massive amount of force.
We angered something.
Ow, ow, ow. Okay, that hurts.
Well, you're not living unless you're angering some sort of extraterrestrial, extra planar, extra fucking deity.
Listen, what I'm already doing, I'm already pissing things off. I don't need another thing on my list.
Yeah, Sloop
well,
is,
I
like,
didn't think I'd go
running
my
into
whole
the-
life without touching the strings of reality and not fucking pissing something off. Let's go.
Oh, now you want to go.
Let's go. All right. Wait, we can argue later. Let's just go.
As you go and try to make your way out of this ship, I am going to initiate you into a skill challenge.
Oh, I knew it, you.
I believe you are all somewhat familiar for.
What does that mean
I
again?
love
A skill
love
challenge
skill
is basically, it goes around in a circle of whatever order you want as players, and you have to use your various skills to explain how you want your way kind of out of this. These can be things like literally as simple as being like, I'm going to make an athletics check to run as fast as I can out of this boat. Or if there are other things you wish to do kind of along the way, the skill checks can be used to do those, to create other additional opportunities and whatnot for you.
Quick question, Agent. Does Sloop still have the Bardic Inspiration I gave him?
Yes, he does.
Cool.
Just in the treasure room there, yeah.
Cool.
So 1d8 for you, Sloop, if you need it.
Thank you. I'm sure I will.
God.
So you get yourselves to your feet in this treasure room as you feel something is unseen of your eyes this deep within the cargo hold, but something is attacking the boat.
So Sloop is going to, using acrobatics, is going to be running, like, holding all of this treasure in under his shirt and under his hat. And the acrobatics is going to be to, like, catch stray coins that are coming out and stuff them back into pockets and back into his mouth and stuff.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. So make a roll for me. With the 27, yeah, you are, I mean, there are points when literally like a bag of coins drops and you start throwing it up in the air, and another one drops and you're throwing it up in the air, and you guys look over as Sloop is literally juggling bags of coins, running his way out of this ship in order to try and take as much treasure with him.
What are the what's like the things around the ship? Is the ship like rocking? Is there stuff falling all over the place?
This is exactly what is happening. Yes,
Okay.
the ship is kind of starting to rock side to side. You felt this one large impact, but there is clearly something that is kind of towards the back of the ship. You would know because of your piratey sailor senses that you all have, because you're all pirates. You would know that like the boat is kilting, leaning towards the back, as you see kind of barrels rolling their way down this hull, falling from their spots, and crates falling over, crashing and exploding around you.
Oh, God.
Okay, so as that's all happening, I think for what I want to do is use the cool monk shit to kind of just like try and like hop around things and like kind of find a way to get to the staircase to go back upstairs, just like kind of like jumping lightly from thing to thing.
Yeah, so I'll get you to do an athletics.
Yeah.
I think seems like a reasonable choice.
Ooh, okay, all right. Not bad.
Yeah, you as kind of one of these barrels tips over as the boat rocks to the side. One of these large water barrels comes down, and you just jump on top of it and start running on the barrel, and increasing your speed as you fly down the length of the hull.
Hell yeah.
I
Cool monk
none
shit.
of my- None of my skills are good for like.
Me
running,
too,
so.
Era. Like it's all like charisma shit for me.
Mine's all smart. Mine's all like the smart shit. So.
Agent, for Django, I'm gonna use it's the best I can do. I'm gonna do an athletics check to kind of. The way I want to flavor this is that Django is so frightened and just like running down the boat, attempting to flee, screaming. But I want the idea for the athletics is he's so scared that he's just super good at athletics when he goes through. If I roll well.
Okay.
You
So
have
kind
your
of
nat
something
20.
like that is
I know I
it's
do.
not like a dream moment.
Yes,
where
yes,
you
totally.
like zone out and then go totally instinctual. Sure, yeah.
100%. Yeah, thank you. I hope I don't need to use my nat 20 for this. Not so bad. 12.
12. Django, as you're running along, you kind of get into a bit of a panic, and you see Lydia go flying past you on this barrel, and you kind of stop and turn for a moment just as like a crate comes down and smashes into the side of you, slowing you down slightly as you take 5 bludgeoning damage from this crate.
I'll take it.
Alright.
I'll take it.
Okay, so my reasoning is kind of similar to Jenga's, but instead of being in fear, Era's gonna, in this moment, everything just to her kind of goes in slow motion, and she's thinking back to her ambitions and her ultimate goal, and in her mind, she sees her husband's face, and I'm going to use that to kind of motivate her and try to, I guess, use athletics to just run like hell. Like,
Man,
and like
based
I'm
on
not
what you
gonna
said,
die down
give me-
here.
Give me a knowledge history check. Think on like how deeply you can remember
Yeah.
these horrifying things from your past. I would let you use that.
It's like
think of
I want her
creative
to-
ways to use your skills in weird ways. I'm gonna let you do almost
Yeah,
anything.
I want her to be drawing from this as like, I'm not going to die here. I need to find him.
Right. Yeah. Give me history. And how much you
Natural
remember.
20, bitches.
Oh yeah.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. You guys see Era as you kind of start making your way to the stairs, and Era starts coming up behind you. You see her it's almost as if she is floating through the bottom of this ship, like with like a ghostly presence behind her. Her feet are practically not touching the ground, and the strides that she's making seem to be lifting her forward with this ethereal energy about her. As you make your way to the stairs up to and find yourself in the dining room area.
If she passes by anyone, they just hear her say, I'm not dying down here. I need to find him. Over and over and over. That's her. She just keeps chanting that to herself.
And the group of you make your way up to the dining room. As you come up here, you're now able to see through this door that you opened in the back. You look out into the balcony and think, geez, I could have sworn it was a sunny day, as the entire back of the boat is just clouded in shadow. And you see kind of you look for a moment and notice it is just this large carapace moving across the back of the boat. Another rumble, another crash, as you see the side of the boat with the cannons, the what is going to be the northern side here, just gets ripped out. Cannons start spilling out into the water as this massive, like lobster-like claw rips a hole along the side of the boat, and you hear the boat creak and moan as you all kind of sway off to one side as well. The path itself kind of crumbles in and blocks off that upper passage.
Must go faster.
What the hell did the Radcliffe summon? Jesus!
This is not what I meant when I said someone else should take care of this.
Keep moving.
Keep moving. Yeah, we're gonna get the fuck out of here. We're just, because the staircase at the end of this hall, right?
There is a stairs at the end of this hall that are the first set of stairs that lead you up to the top of the boat. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do we want to go off the balcony or do we want to go out there? We need to make that decision now.
Well,
I don't think
to
going
go
in-
off the balcony.
You know what? You know what? No time to think about it. Let's go.
Where are we going?
Off the
Swan
balcony.
diving. Yep, swan diving.
Django's gonna run to the top.
Oh god damn it! All right, Django, if you die, I can't help you.
Okay. So Era, as you you're kind of like looking for a good place to go out. As you open this door into this balcony, you just see this enveloping creature blocking off most sections of it. Small legs and the like are coming up all over, ripping their way into the back of the boat. Within the carapace itself, you just see some of the folds move open and a set of orange eyes looking at you. More and more of them start to pop, looking around panically and locking in towards you.
Django will shout back, "The balcony leads to the sea. We need to get to land."
He's right. And I'm after him.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna turn around and stop trying to run out before this thing can do anything.
Okay. So the skill challenge is still ongoing. So, and the key to it is that you cannot use a skill that you have used previously as well.
Oh boy.
Got it.
Okay.
Love that part.
I guess. God. Let me look through here.
Django more intentionally moving through is now going to, I'm going to say, use acrobatics to try to avoid the rocking, try to match the rocking of the ship to not be slowed by it.
Yeah, I love it. You try to kind of brace yourself against as this monster is beginning to tear apart this back of the boat.
Okay, and every now and then, I mean, he's going to keep looking back to his friends, kind of, he's doing this intentionally to maintain composure, to help his friends, because he knows he's ahead of them because they went back to the balcony.
Oh god, the viewers.
22.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah, you're kind of, as you start making your way down the hall, you're almost just like leaping left and right as you go, trying to match this ebb and flow as the boat rocks in every direction, as you manage to get your way down that hall.
Sloop is realizing that. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Sloop is realizing that he, while trying to balance all of this gold, is slowing himself down. And he like pauses for a moment and then looks over at the table. And I'm going to use sleight of hand to try to pull the tablecloth out from under and just wrap myself so that I don't have to use my hands to hold onto the gold. I'm just going to wrap myself like a mummy so that the gold is just tied to my body so that I can use my arms to keep running.
Make like a big bag. Yeah, all right. Okay, so it doesn't slow you down. Give me your sleight of hand. A 19. Yeah, you can't keep all of it in as you do this, but as you kind of wrap this sheet around, it does provide kind of a larger balloon pouch around you, and you kind of are able to then use that to throw your weight down the ship along with the gold. So Django, as you go kind of bouncing back and forth from side by side, you see Sloop basically form himself into a ball of gold with this bed sheet and just start rolling himself down the hallway. Little pieces of coin spilling out in every direction as he goes.
For mine, I'm still out on the balcony. I want to see if I can use my perception to find a gap in the legs that I can swan dive through.
Go for it.
And I am prepared to use my reroll if I need to. I'm going to use my reroll.
Oh no!
We knew you well, Era.
Yeah.
You kind of go back and forth and you think you've got it, and it's like another set of legs keeps coming around, these crab-like little legs all enveloping. You're unable to even see from where you are what exactly this creature is, but with its eyes locked on you inside, it seems to be pinning you in and making a little cage on the back of this balcony.
Oh my god, what the hell is this thing? Okay, I guess I don't know what to do.
Can I use a charge from my sword, or does that not count as a skill?
I will allow that. Yeah, I will
Okay.
probably get you to do a skill around it based on what you want, but
Okay. I want to cast Zephyr Strike. like drive the sword into the ground and cast that, and like as it pushes me forward, just ripping it out behind me.
Yeah. Can I get you to make a knowledge arcana check, which I will give you advantage on because you are using a charge.
Oh wow! There's the balance for those two nat 20s. Holy shit, that's bad.
You do it and kind of try to focus this, but it's where the boat is rocking so much. You race forward and end up just kind of slamming into the mast on your way. You do make some progress, but you do take 7 damage from this like flat out charge being kind of thrown with the whole weight of the ship behind you.
That would have been so cool.
At this point, you all start feeling the boat really reeling backwards, and the tables and everything in this dining room start to slide to the back. Lydia, you're making your way through. You can see kind of chests and whatnot falling out of this as the boat is getting on a higher and higher angle. Ira, you are almost having a hard time hanging on to this balcony. Were it not for the fact that you're literally trying to jump out of it, you would think like there's no way out of here, sort of thing. But you still have a chance.
Okay. Fuck. I don't know what to use because I don't know how I could like spin Insight or Arcana into this. Fuck.
The others, you make your way up towards, as you kind of reach that staircase, you make your way up to the top. And
Django
you're
will
able
look
to
back
see
and
your way out around.
Django will wait. Django will look back and see that Era hasn't come, and he'll head back in the direction of Era.
Yeah, when he heads back down to like look, Sloop is like, I'll buy us some time, and I am gonna keep running up.
Kieran, thank you so much.
Sloop, you make your way like up to the top as Django kind of turns, sees Lydia coming down and slamming into the walls as you go and not seeing Era. Sloop, you make your way up to the top and you kind of turn around at the top of this boat and just see this colossal creature, a mixture of lobster, crab, centipede, covered in all kinds of barnacles and algae, water just pouring off of it, and dozens and dozens of these orange eyes just looking out in every direction. Its claws are slamming into the top of the boat. It's wrecking the wharfs nearby, and you can hear, now that you're up top, you can hear screams of people from the docks. People in the water all around you, just like debris everywhere.
I think I know what I'm going to do.
Boat sucks.
I think I know what I'm going to do. Thank you for the reminder, Kieran. My cloak allows me to turn ethereal. But I have a question. Being ethereal, can I pass through things, or am I just...
Yeah.
Okay.
You basically turn into a ghost.
Okay, so Era, her mind's racing a million miles a minute. She's still trying to remind herself that she has a goal. She has to find him. And in a last, like in a moment of clarity, she finally realizes her cloak. She pulls it around herself to envelop herself in the ethereal fabric, and she just cries out Davin's name as like a prayer for her to be secure, and she fucking dives off of this thing.
Cool. I'll get you to make an Arcana check.
Oh please. 12. Please be good enough. Wait, do I have a... Can I add my D4 to that? Is that
You
possible?
may add your D4 to that. I may highly suggest it as the DC is 13.
Please. No! All right, if Harrier dies...
Can she add my D4 to that? Can I give her my D4?
The DC is 13.
It's
Oh my god!
It's why. Oh, thank God! It's why Django was running towards you. All I wanted to do was give you bardic inspiration.
So you're trying to go out through the creature into the water?
Yes, I do. I just want to be off this ship.
Yeah, so you scream out, and Django, you can hear this from inside this boat. This like banshee-like scream waves out through and echoes out through the hull of this boat. As Ira, you just turn ghostly and ethereal and float backwards up through this creature. It takes some time for you to pass by it, and as you phase kind of through this carapace, this chitinous carapace, you see all these eyes watching you in this ghostly form, and then turn inwards inside the body as you pass through it. Space seems to get very confusing for you as you go through. It is almost as if you enter this dark, murky void, as if the sounds all around you just sound as if you are deep, deep within the sea. And all you can see are these little, you see bubbles, you see these eyes. You do not see the inside of this creature. It is like nothing you have ever seen, experienced, or read about before in all of your studies, until you finally pass your way out through the back of the carapace, floating upwards a little bit before the ethereal charges run out and you drop down into the water around this monstrous creature.
How close am I? Like, how far away am I from the docks?
The docks are being shredded around you. It will be a bit of a swim, probably 200, 250 feet probably to dockside. Django, you are racing back down through, and you pass Era kind of slamming behind you as you go back. You do not see Era emerge from the balcony.
Okay. And as far as Django's concerned,
but you
either
have
off the
heard
boat.
This ghostly boom.
Okay. And as far, I mean, it's just sort of this scream. Does it seem like a death scream to me, or like a, I don't know.
Make an insight check.
Cool.
I mean, he's seen me use the cloak before too, so.
He did not see you use it. You guys split up in that alleyway.
Yeah, I
see that he looked back and saw that weird ethereal form.
Did you? I'm trying to.
It was like I rubbed a bunch of mud on my face and I turned and she disappeared into nothing.
Oh yeah.
He just goes, "This is unusual."
So you would have heard her yell out Davin's name, and you would have. I think you would have seen kind of this like flash of greenish ethereal light come from the back of the balcony that you would have recognized from this time.
Okay, good, because I was a natural 2. So that's great. So Django would recognize this immediately and know, at the very least, know that Era is on the escape. And he'll turn to join Lydia in getting to the top deck. His goal to get to the top deck and ensure that Lydia and Sloop leave before he does. He wants everyone out before he's out. He's just trying to take care of his friends.
Yeah. You are able to make it back to the top deck where Sloop and Lydia are there kind of hanging on in horror of looking at this creature.
So when we get to the top deck, what do we see?
What you see is the boat rapidly rocking backwards. You are kind of at this top point up now as you're at the front of the ship, and the ship is really peaking up off the ground. Ira, in coming through the boat, while you did not see this and you would not be able to see her appear on the other side, appeared almost at water level. The monster itself, as I said, is this mass of kind of like centipede meets lobster meets crab monster. It is unlike anything you have seen, though no doubt spending as much time on the seas as you have heard horror stories of things that live in the deep. This one in particular doesn't ring out to any specific thing, but most of those tales you chalk up to old sailor tales. The water all around you is filled with debris. You can see that there are sailors and the like on the docks who are trying to fish people out of the water. But mostly you just see this monster tearing apart the back of the ship and trying to bring it down into the water with him.
So size-wise, is this thing like is it filling up everything around me, or is it just sort of like...
It's about 3 times the size of the entire ship.
Cool, perfect. Just excellent. Wow, that's big. Oh boy.
So we're I'm still below deck on the map here, but how much of the back of the ship has it eaten? Like I just see a big ballista on the back of the ship. Is that still there?
That ballista would be underwater at this point.
Underwater, okay.
Yeah. Or certainly like within it's all kind of torn apart.
Right.
What are the cannons' relation to the creature? As far as like, directionally.
The cannons on the front of the ship are all just kind of pointing up into the sky right now.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and those 2 at the back are pretty much destroyed and in the water now.
Okay.
Get
to shore. We need to go.
Are we still in like a skill challenge?
You are not. If you wish to escape this boat right now, you have the opportunity to do so.
Okay.
You have succeeded at the skill challenge by the neck of your teeth.
Barely. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Whatever the saying is.
Skin of your teeth.
Skin of your teeth.
That's that's the scarier way to say it, though.
That is.
Yeah, seriously.
Old neck teeth.
I'll shout at the 2 of them. Go, get off the ship. I'm right behind you.
Okay, doke.
And Sloop with his just sort of roly-polies his way onto the dock.
Yeah, Django would grab Lydia's arm to make sure to try to pull her to move with him and not behind him.
Yeah, you would have to basically take a dive off the top of the boat and swim up to shore.
All right. I'm assuming I'm able to swim as well in this time.
I will all actually require just some form of athletics check.
Oh, this is going to be terrible.
Even though I used
30-20.
that for the skill challenge, I can use it again.
Yes, because I'm literally just asking for swimming.
Got it. You said athletics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all able to kind of dive off of the boat and start making your way through. Ira, you are having a lot of difficulty. This monster is thrashing around you. It is taking the boat down around you as well. Despite all of your attempts of going, you don't seem to be making any distance away from it.
Oh no. I don't have anything I can use. I'm out of spells. So, fuck. I guess the only thing I can do is scream for help. She's getting even more panicked, and she keeps like going under the water and coming back up again, trying to keep herself afloat. At some point, she's going to actually let the cloak she's wearing, like it's clasped, the heavy dark one. She's going to unclasp it and let it slide off, hoping that the extra weight will help. And she's just going to scream out to the others.
Can we hear her?
Make perception checks. They will be at disadvantage as you are swimming, and there's a lot going on.
Aww. Ooh, Sloop, we got the...
Lydia and Sloop.
Turned it around, I guess.
Yeah. You do hear Ira in the distance near this monster crying out for help. As you're all able to kind of make your way up to the edge of the shore and at least get like a hold on a rope or something falling off the docks.
So mad, I just noticed I had another D4.
I'm going to look at Django and say, get up on shore. I'll be right back. And I'm going to start swimming towards Era.
And I'm just going to say,
Darren, this is, I feel like we all go back or none of us go back, hey?
And I'm going to let loose the coins to stop weighing me down. and they all sort of like sink down into the water, and I'm gonna swim back to the ship and try to climb back on the sinking ship.
The ship is very much it is almost at a 90-degree angle at this point, as this creature is pulling it, and you see that the creature is actually starting to recede back down into the water. He is no longer kind of working his way up, more so that he is dragging everything down with him. It's part of the reason Era is having trouble escaping, is because literally the current is pulling everything down with her.
Yeah. Django would not listen to Lydia and attempt to go with her to help.
Okay. I will require another round of athletic checks.
Nice.
Oh, Django.
Oh, no.
Django, you still have a nat 20.
I'll use my nat 20.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All three of you are able to make your way out to the waters. You've managed to kind of grab a couple of ropes and stuff along with the debris that has fallen off the wharf. And without getting too close to the ship, you do see Ira making her way kind of around the side of this beast and just swimming as hard as she can towards you. Ira, I will also allow you to make another athletics check here.
Please. Please, thank you.
Do we get to her, like within range of her?
You would be within range if you want to give her a bardic inspiration.
I do.
As I know that's what you're asking for. So Ira, you can use that on that roll.
Purely magical, not quippy.
And what is that a D4?
1d8.
1d8. Ooh.
And was I able to get to the ship?
17.
Yeah, you're able to get to kind of the edge of the ship as it's going down. You see kind of the cannons are working their way down, like one by one, sinking. Ira, you hear Django just yell out your name over the tides of the sea. It's hard to hear anything around you with the sounds of the rushing water, the strange, deep murmurs of this creature that are resonating in all of your skulls. But you're able to start kind of making your way towards them a little bit at a time.
I feel like with all of this going on and everything rushing in her head, when she hears her name being called out, her immediate thought is she's hearing Devin, and it's making her go faster and like fighting against the current, trying to reach the source until I guess she either meets Lydia or Django.
You two would be able to start with those rolls. You would start being able to make your way towards each other and get close. Sloop, you would be able to make your way to the edge of the ship and kind of latch a hold onto it, but feeling a great suction as it's pulling downwards.
So I'm going to try to pull myself up onto the deck, and I want to grab one of those cannons that's sinking into the water and just spin it towards the creature.
Yeah.
And
you I love this idea, but these cannons are not loaded.
Oh.
is there well that's actually fine because I already used my charges, so I still have those fire bombs because I didn't throw them in the bottom.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just stuff both of them into the front of the cannon.
I love this idea, so I'm absolutely going to let you do this.
Guys, don't worry. I'm going to use Tasha's hideous laughter on this mess.
Laughing crab.
So Sloop, I'm gonna get you to just make a ranged attack on it. I think there's
Nice.
a lot of struggle of trying to get this around. You're basically grabbing a cannon from the top of this boat, twisting it, and it's sliding down the boat deck as you're doing this. As you jam these two things in there and spark a small fuse, spark a light to light the fuse.
So I'm going to look out over the town. I'm going to look at the church, and I'm going to say, another day for you, I suppose. And then take off my hat and say, kindest regards to the monster. And I'm going to use my nat 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh.
Yes.
Perfect.
This is why you
Yes.
save them.
Excellent.
So
Love it.
shooting. Oh man. Okay. As you shoot these fire bombs down the edge of the boat, they crack down straight to the back and smash against kind of the belly of this beast. You see the flames erupt outwards as you hit the magazine in the back of the hull.
Oh boy.
Guys did not go into, surprisingly, as flames just erupt out the side of this boat. Everyone in the water
that.
is going to have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Damn.
No, that's fine. That is
That's totally fine.
fine.
So worth it.
As
14.
this booming shockwave comes out.
Oh man.
Ooh. What is fireball? 66?
Oh, I don't like this.
Doing 22 damage, save on half on a save.
What was this? What was the save? Did anybody of us? Did we make it?
14, 14, 13, and none of you made that save.
I'm bloodied.
Anybody down?
This
You're muted,
You're
Sean.
muted, Sean.
We're all bloodied.
Yeah, Jesus.
boom erupts out as this creature cries out in pain. The ship begins to splinter and crack, breaking around the back mast and tipping back forward. Sloop, you are hanging on for your dear life as the boat kind of slams down again on the water before starting to sink back with this creature. The creature itself lets out this monstrous roar as blood and goo start to just fill the water around it as it reaches up another claw and starts dragging the entire boat down.
I'm sure it's drowned out by that scream, but when the explosion goes off, Sloop is also just maniacally laughing. He is just like riding the cannon like Slim Pickens in Strangelove, and he's just like,
Yes!
Nice.
I got to see the barrels explode this time! Oh, finally! Oh, it was glorious!
You have a brief moment to get off of this boat before it starts going down. And
Get the fuck off the boat, Sloop.
yeah, then he skedaddles.
Yeah, okay. You dive off the front and start swimming your way to shore, where you begin meeting up with Django, Lydia, and Era coming down what was where the wharf was. They are swimming along the debris out of range as this thing starts making its way back deep into the water.
Fuck.
Is everyone all right?
Where's Sloop?
What's that?
Where's Sloop?
Where's Sloop?
Django
I
Melee.
Sloop?
just doggy paddling like towards the like just sort of spitting water out as he goes.
Oh god. Okay.
I was about to say Django immediately goes into his eulogy. He was a good man. Dragon?
A kobold so bold.
Oh, I never saw a kobold so bold.
He's right there. He's right there.
I never saw a kobold so
He's right.
bold.
Open your eyes. He's right there.
I'm gonna splash Django.
He was
in
like
the
a
face.
son to me.
I'm gonna splash water in Django's face. He's right there, you idiot.
Hello, Father.
And I'll reach a
I
hand
guess
down to
we're
help
all
Sloop
time
up
saying daddy.
onto the port.
Yeah. As you make your way back to the safety of the land, you turn and see the Harrier being dragged out to sea by the remnants of this colossal and unholy sea creature. The wharves and surrounding buildings have been battered by the surge of displaced water and the violent explosion now erupting from the ship's magazine. The waters themselves are filled with debris all around you, patches of flaming ship, hunks of docks and smaller vessels, the bodies of sailors and civilians alike who happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Those who still remain nearby are mostly screaming in horror, either running away or grabbing onto whatever rope they can find to toss out to the poor souls being dragged to sea by the riptide. Further inland, around the market square, the parade for the Festival of the Sea has come to an abrupt end amidst the chaos. Floats belonging to the three families, the Aarons, Neres, and Ratcliffes, have all refused to yield the central spot of the parade, and with tensions high between the families, a full-scale street brawl has sprawled forth across the square. The Aaron family has accused the Ratcliffes of bombing their warehouse like they did the gala. And the Neres they blame for snubbing them with their false party that they refused them entry to. The Neres, now led by their eldest son, blame the Ratcliffes for their patriarch's untimely demise in the mansion fire, and blame the Aarons for being in cahoots with the attack. The Ratcliffes, in their defense and the confusion, have turned the blame of this monster attack now on both families. With no priest at the helm of the local temple to Gallandor, and monstrous creatures rising from the depths, the common people have begun to panic, thinking they have angered the gods again, and that this calamity is more vengeance being struck upon them. Those loyal to the Sapphire Throne begin to grab torches and oil and set fire to the temple in defiance to the gods. The wet, crackling wood of its seaside structures billow a thick black smoke up through the air to the churning storm clouds that have formed above the city. Up upon the cliffs of Adrathel, at the edge of the Kingsglade forest in the distance, an army of soldiers marches row by row with weapons drawn to the outskirts of the city. By the time they reach the walls, the chaos and panic currently running rampant through the docks is simply too much, and the few remaining guards are quickly overrun. As they wind their way through the city streets, past the wreckage of a half-burnt mansion, down the cliffside hill of Market Row, to the heart of the docks where the Temple to Gallandor now shines like a lighthouse. There is no fight on their arrival. The soldiers of each merchant prince throw down their weapons of exhaustion, having worn themselves out on each other, blindsided by the threat of the Sapphire Army. The following days are a blur. The army quickly reestablishes order in the city. The princes are told to yield to King Eodric or die. Anthel Aaron hangs from the gallows until his skin chars in the sun. Onlookers adorned with yellow sashes and flowers watch solemnly before fading back into the faceless crowds. The new fleet, designed for their union with the Neres, is pressed into service with the Navy, and the Ratcliffes scramble back into the shadows, with the dock unions turning against them in solidarity. The army makes their way through each of the family's warehouses, or, well, what remains of them, seizing goods as the king requires. And you are all paid handsomely. After a few days of R&R at the Beggar and Cask, Creek ushers you into the table upstairs, where he presents you each with a chest filled with the proceeds of war. "We'll settle our debt when the city is taken," he says. As unofficial envoys to the city, it would be unseemly for King Eodric to meet with you, but you are assured by Creek that he sends his thanks, and by the weight of those chests, he seems mighty grateful. The table underneath bows under the stress of the coin, and had that table been stronger, our story would have been longer. But since the table's bended, so our story here has ended. I would like to thank all of my wonderful players for this joyous 6-episode adventure through the city of Adrathel and through the chaos that you have sown. It has been very, very fun. I would like to also thank the chat for coming along on this wild ride with us and staying for this extra little late. We're a little bit over time tonight.
I have no idea what time it is.
No, who
It's
knows?
like 11 a.m. It's like 1 a.m.
I'm gonna pass it around to our players to let themselves give their last who they are, where you can find them, and everything else. And before I wrap up the evening for us, so let's start over with the lovely Django Weatherby Teague, played by Sean.
Yes, you can find me at any social media platform at Odo_Sean, ODO_SEAN. I am the DM for Paradise RPG. We play every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a few other shows that you can check out. And as for Django Weatherby Teague, he'll take a handful of gold, enough to get him a dinghy. He will leave Adrethil in shame for all the death that has come.
Next up, we have the lovely Lydia Ray, soon to be Captain Lydia Ray, I suspect, being
Mhm.
played by Shannon.
Wow, what an adventure. Thank you so much, Kieran. That was incredible.
So much
and
fun.
Thank you so much fun. Ooh, and thank you to, oh my God, that was just, thank you. That's all I can say. You can find me at sroby25 on all social media platforms. You can catch me over at Paradise RPG on Sundays for the Tim and Shannon Power Hour at 7 p.m. Eastern. And you can catch me as Scarlet, our fiery rogue, on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Tuesdays, Alex streams video games. Wednesdays, we have Sean's Relaxing in Paradise, where he gets to get away from all of us for a little bit and talk about his maps and his lore. And yeah, we've got some other stuff coming down the pike, and we just hope everybody is doing well and staying safe. And we love you all.
Excellent. Passing it over to the other side, Ira Blackwood, the remaining member of the Blackwood family, played by Shelby.
Hi, I'm Shelby. I'm from the channel Wystle While You Work, where I tell stories of my D&D antics and draw whatever fun D&D things come to mind. My merch has now gone live. I have these cute little pride buttons available for June, as well as a bunch of stickers. And as for Era will take her reward and the dragon's blood that she has hoarded and disappear into the crowd to sow a darker name for herself for the future.
Cannot wait to hear more of what her adventures get up to. And last but not least, we have the Kobold So Bold, Sloop Brine Scale, played by the wonderful Mike Fardy.
Yeah, I'm Mike Fardy. I'm the DM for Wonders and Blunders. You can find us at Wonder and Blunder or wonderandblunder.com. We're like a D&D5e comedy horror podcast. Check us out. And thank you all so much for coming here every week and all of your amazing comments. And thank you, Kieran, for running this. It is so much fun. And this group was such a blast. Oh, what
so
a
much
treat.
fun.
This
So much fun.
I know. I'm so sad that it's
I'm so
over.
sad. I know. Me
know.
too.
Oh, but I'm glad it's recorded.
Yeah.
Leads
guess
me
as
to
for
a
Sloop.
few thank yous. Oh, but yes.
Oh, yeah.
What of Sloop?
Oh yeah, I think he would just he would have donated his at least most of the portion of his gold to Lydia, hoping for the new ship to make up for the gold that he lost in the ocean, on the condition that he be allowed to tag along and make much more in the future.
100%.
Love that.
100%. Welcome
Match made
aboard.
in
Yes,
heaven.
Django was just the ghost that helped Lydia get her shipped, and then he disappeared out to sea.
No. We're going to talk about that. I'm only that you left.
We'll talk about it in the tavern.
Yeah.
might end up fighting Era later on in life. So have
Yes.
fun.
Django's just like, he's like like Mad Max. He just shows up in the adventure in the middle of it and then disappears.
Where the fuck have you been?
Without a trace. For myself, my name is Kieran, also known as Agent Number One. I live mostly here on Roll4Damage with all sorts of different shows that we've got going on here. You can find more information on them down below, or I'm sure Veg just posted them in the chat there. I want to thank a few handfuls of people before we wrap up this evening. First off, I got to thank Roll4Damage, Vegemite Dangerous, and Nova One, who brought together this incredible, absolute joy of a team to play with, which I just really knocked out of the park. I had a load of fun with this. It's been a great time.
So good.
Second off, I've got to thank Brepai, our incredible character artist. You can see her depiction of Lydia Ray there now. You've seen her work there all night, all over the channel. She does all sorts of stuff for us. She's incredible. Check her stuff out. Few groups I want to shout out. Nerds of the West, one of our Twitch partner channels. They do board games. They're out of Western Australia. Roll4Damage is an Australian primary channel. And so we love to share the love to the other Australians as well. We also want to shout out herebedragonscast.com, which is another podcast that's based out of Australia, D&D podcast. Of course, there's Wonders and Blunders. Of course, there's Wystle While You Work. Of course, there's Paradise RPG. I'm hoping I'm pointing in all the right directions. I'm probably not. Nobody is below me. But all of these groups are just incredible, and they're putting out super great work, and I think they're great. And yeah, I think you should check them all out. Last but not least, if any of you are interested, we're going to be hanging out on the Role4Damage Discord for a little bit. I know it's very late, so I don't know how long we'll all survive, but I'm definitely wired on energy right now. So if you want to come in and say hi to the players, ask any questions about the world or the adventure or anything else, we're all there to chat a little bit. So by all means, come by. And then finally, I need to bring on our lovely producer, the man behind the curtain, Vegemite Dangerous, to take us away on a raid and share the love across the D&D communities here.
The ride that I have been on watching this episode has just been absolutely crazy. Like the tidal wave hitting the ship itself. An emotional wave has come over me. Oh, you guys, I want to thank you guys for being here. You guys for playing on the channel. You guys are all absolutely amazing. And I think what I want to say, I'm going to say it now, I'll probably get in trouble later, is that this isn't the end of this group playing together. We have something else currently in the works.
Secrets in the pipes.
Stick around, watch the Twitters, watch the Discord, and you'll find out exactly what's going on. But, yes, it must come to an end right now, and as we always do, we pass on the love to another. Tonight's channel that I have selected is a friend of the channel who is currently playing Hollow Knight. He is a player of mine who I have played with several times on the channel here and on another channel. He is a lovely individual, and I think you guys will love him too. He is just the most amazing person. His name is Pavlova Face. So join us tonight, chuck up your favorite raid emote, tell him all about the session and how much you love D&D, and tell him to come and play with us again as we raid Pavlova Face. Thank you all again for watching, thank you all for being a part of the stream, and we'll see you again in another adventure.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Veg.
Bye.
Thank you, Kieran.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Until
you,
next
everyone.
time.
So much fun.
Should
Love
we
you
meet
all.
again?